All right, what's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome back. Yeah, let's talk about a much better game for Vegas. As a Knights fan, it sucks to go down 2-0. Luckily, they were on the road. You know, the next two games are at T-Mobile, and our backs are without a doubt up against the wall. But the way that they played, I could not feel better. You know, if your team's down 2-0. This is probably the best you could feel after game two, right? I'm very proud of the Knights, the way they bounced back. They did lose, obviously, but they 100% should have won that game. They hit like 4 posts, I think it was.
Petrangelo for Smith, shoots off the post for the third time tonight.
Grubauer was definitely the difference. Man, the Knights had chance after chance in the second and third to really get that third goal, but they just couldn't do it, right? And full credit to the Avs, man. They are one hell of a team. There's no doubt in that. And I really do think whoever wins this series is the Stanley Cup winner. But I think whoever wins this series is going to mop the floor with whoever wins that Canadian division. I think I give whoever wins that maybe a game, and that's if they get lucky, to be honest. Let's get into it. Much cleaner as well. This is the way a game should go. No Ryan Reeves, obviously. Ryan Graves should have been suspended.
Now carried back across by Smith. He shoots off the
Janmark, of course, is out. And so instead of Reeves and instead of Janmark, we get Dylan Sakura and we get Keegan Colasar. Now, the beginning of the year, as it progressed, right, I did not understand what Vegas was doing with Keegan Colasar. I thought Cody Glass should have been in there, no matter what, kind of over him, just because, you know, that's your first ever draft pick, 6 overall. But I guess the front office did not want to lose Colasar to waivers, right? And somebody probably would have picked him up. But over time and over the season, he's really grown on me. I do like his defensive game. I don't question his effort. And he was good tonight. He was good. Had a good chance or two. And then Dylan Sakura, who I didn't know much about before this season. It was a Blackhawks draft pick, I believe. Had high hopes, just could never really pull it together in the NHL. And he as well, man. He looked really good on that third line with Tuck and Waugh. He was moving, he was back checking, so I was definitely happy with the lineup that they threw out there, right? So just happy that there wasn't any more dirty shit going on, that kind of thing. You know, it really felt like game one was pushed aside. And it really felt like Vegas, you know, came out and they showed that game one was definitely an outlier. I don't know if it was just they're tired, travel, you know, an emotional game 7 win that they came off of, not even 48 hours later, and voila, you know, got to play arguably the best team in the league, you know. So game 1 sucked, but I could not be happier with their response. I definitely, again, I'm going to say that posts or not, Vegas, dude, you got to bury those chances. Tuck had how many in the third? Riley Smith had a wide open net. Grubauer had no idea. Perfect bounce right to him and just hooked it wide. There was a beautiful pass from Mark Stone to cutting in Nick Hague. Would have been a backdoor tap-in. That didn't go. Tuck had a breakaway coming out of the box. Tried to do the Nathan McKinnon move from game 1. And as much as I love Tuck, and he was probably the most noticeable Knight on the ice tonight. He was flying. He was back-checking. Tuck is a very special player. Thank you, Minnesota. Yeah, I could not be happier with Tuck. You know, he's young. He's signed to a great deal. For a big man, the way he moves, he is fast. He can keep up with McDavid. He's starting to really get his defensive game up there. But yeah, unfortunately, they just couldn't put the game away, right? So first period, and I'm not gonna lie, kind of had the way it started. It was reminding me of game 1. I mean, the Avs, they came out flying, and they drew. It ended up being 4 penalties, right, that they drew. And so, of course, you're going to be worried about that. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the first, they only allowed 1 power play goal. Of course, the score was 2-1 after. But, the first period, it wasn't bad. I thought there was some soft calls that they were calling on Colorado. I really do. There was some statements said by Stone after the game and DeBoer. And I'm sorry, but the Avalanche... I'm not going to say they're embellishing it, but they literally like go down over nothing. I mean, you know, if you have the puck, they're allowed to hit you. It really did. I totally see where DeBoer and the Knights are coming from. Although, I mean, we'll get into the last, you know, overtime, that penalty. In the first, yeah, credit to the Avs, man. They were flying and they drew some penalties. There's no doubt about it, right? I think Vegas got kind of lucky with it. The Avs, I mean, you're talking about Vegas, right? It was the #1 penalty kill in the league, and they showed it. The Avs, I don't know if they had the #1 power play. They definitely have the #1 power play in the playoffs so far. And they showed it. They fly. They've got, you know, Cale Makar. They've got Mikko Rantanen, Gabe Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon. How can you not? I mean, that's just superstars right there, all, you know. Very, very deadly. So I was very proud that the Knights only gave up one of those in the first. But as the game kind of goes on, right, you know, Vegas would end up getting their own power play goal. So the way that it starts is the teams are kind of, you know, Colorado's flying to begin the game. Vegas is doing a decent job of defending. Colorado gets the first power play. Vegas kills it off. Not too long after Vegas, I don't know what the hell Pietrangelo was doing. I love Alex Pietrangelo. I think he's fit in with the team very well. Yeah, he's not put up the points. He's definitely had some defensive miscues, like game 1 of the first round. You know, he fanned on a pass. I'm not going to blame that on Pietrangelo. I'm really not. He did get back to lift Brandon Saad's stick. So the way it happens, Theodore and Pietrangelo, they both are a little bit ahead of their blue line, and Saad is right there at the blue line. So perfect pass to Saad. He goes in, and at the last second, Pietrangelo does lift his stick, but it makes it so that he doesn't get a shot off. So Fleury is expecting a fastball, but instead he gets a what's that? A knuckleball. Yeah, it's like one of those Kucherov, like no moves. You know, he got the stick lifted and the puck just slides right through the 5-hole. I don't know how much unlucky you can get, but credit to the Avs. I mean, it's a goal. Definitely should not have been that far in front. Somebody should have been back and could have prevented that, right? But to Vegas' credit, they bounced back and they get their own power play. And it was a beauty of a goal from Alec Martinez. Max Pacioretty all the way across the ice to where Patches normally would be for that one-timer. Grubauer had no chance on it. Beautiful goal, ties up the game. But, like I said, the Avs, the first period was their one and only period. It really was. They did very well. It drew a few more penalties. And Vegas, it was the fourth one towards the end that they got called on towards the end of the period. And sure enough, Nick Waugh had kind of like a little lapse. He let Tyson Jost get right to the slot. And before he could get his stick or down there, Tyson Jost just rips it off the post and in. Cannot blame Fleury on that one. You know, you let the Avs get 4 power plays in one period and you come away only losing by 1. That's a win, especially in their building. So, you know, after that, I wasn't feeling too good, right? But the second period has been the Knights' best period of the playoffs. And they came out flying, and it showed. So from the rest of this game on, the Avalanche had nothing. They had nothing going. They got a couple good looks here and there, but it really, the whole game, it really felt like Vegas was dominating play. They spent almost all the time in the Avs zone, and Grubauer really did. I mean, credit to the Avs. Grubauer, the post, I don't know, but Vegas hit like 4 or 5 posts. I want to say it was 5 posts in the game. Just got kind of unlucky, but you know, this is the playoffs, and you got to bury these chances. I don't care how much you dominate play, all that good stuff. I mean, all that matters is that end result. So from the second and third, it was a completely different Knights team. And I think the Avalanche are rattled. After this game, they know that they got away with one here. They let Vegas get to their game, and they let Vegas dictate play pretty much the entire time. Riley Smith had chance after chance, hit 2 posts, I want to say, but he also had a beautiful goal to tie up the game. The Avalanche defense kind of lost him. Wild Bill hits him as he's hitting the blue line. He goes right in, does a little deke to the forehand to backhand. Grubauer had no chance, up and over the shoulder. It was a beautiful goal to tie the game. And I mean, you expect to win. You know, when you get through that first, and you play as dominating as Vegas had. Vegas I think at the end of the game, it was 42 or 43 shots to Colorado's 25-26. And that just doesn't happen. Colorado is not that. This is the first game where they have only won by a goal instead of by 3. The Avalanche have been very impressive, but the way that this game ended, chance after chance for Vegas, and they just could not bury it. Full credit to Grubauer. That overtime comes, and we get this very weak penalty. So, as a Knights fan, and you went through the first round, right? Well, it felt in the latter stages of the series that the referees just put their whistles away. And the Avalanche, it really did feel all game. They weren't they went down so easy. I totally understand where the Knights players are coming from. It just felt weak. And this is the playoffs. I mean, everybody's trying as hard as they can. And it was a slash right off the face-off. Was no stick broke. It really felt like I don't know. I don't want to accuse Mikko Rantanen of embellishing, but it didn't make any sense. It didn't look like something that you call in overtime, right? So, yeah, full credit to the Avs. I mean, that power play is deadly, and sure enough, Mikko Rantanen just gets a beautiful pass, and that dude had a couple good chances, and he finally buries one. There's really nothing Fleury could have done. I mean, this is Mikko Rantanen we're talking about, But after this game, I think the Avs are worried. I really do. Game 1, they probably got a little overconfident, and then once Vegas got to their game, the Avs had no answer. They had no response. They were very fortunate to get the win in this one. And now we're going back home to Vegas, right? So we're down 2-0 in the series. As a Knights fan, you feel pretty shitty about that, right? But the way that they played, the way they responded, this isn't going to be a sweep. I think Vegas is going to win both these games at home. I think they will finally win a game in Colorado, and I think they'll win that game 6 back in Vegas. So I know those are big words for a team that's down 2-0, but I think the Avs are a little scared. I'm not going to lie. They seemed like they were a little shook up. They seemed frustrated. They really seemed like they had no answer for Vegas' forecheck. The way they were cycling the puck, the way Vegas was playing defense. It was really a clinic to probably one of the better games. Besides that first period, it was a beautiful game that they put on. They put on a clinic in the second and third, and unfortunately they did not get the result that you want. But I do feel pretty confident going forward that this game is probably going to 6 or 7. So, yeah, hell of a game. Really wish I would have went to this one instead of game 1. But, we can talk about penalties and embellishment, whatever. This is the playoffs. Just get the fucking job done. No excuses, right? So, excited for Vegas. Game 3 tomorrow, Friday. So, we'll see, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one. And, I'll see you then.